Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with your host, Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda Hero, like Defender of the Fatherland, off hitting an exciting 1 vs 1 on the road to Kharkov. Between the north, we got here Lt.Baumy fighting for the Oberkommand West, Germany, Deutschland, taking on the role here of the 3rd Panzer Division West. In the south, we got here Brom fighting for the Soviet Union, Socialism, Stalin, and the 9th Mechanized Corps. We're looking at Luftwaffe, Scavenge, and Spec Ops. Lt.Baumy, double infantry machine guns versus advanced warfare, guard rifle, and mechanized support with machine gun, anti-tank grenade infantry here for Brom. Lt.Baumy is ranked 37, I believe, with the Oberkommand West, and Brom ranked 121 with the Soviets. So both reasonably high-ranked players. Conscript setting up the double conscript start by way here for Brom, so he's not going to aim up here for, at least initially, any sort of penal trooper heavy builds, relying on the conscript abilities, and of course in this case the anti-tank grenades to see off any attempts by Baumy to rush him down with the Lukes. And this is why some players are to an extent not quite going so heavy on the penal troopers, because they can't nearly as well handle a Lukes, whereas the conscripts with anti-tank grenades, especially with extra range, can, snare them up and make them much easier targets. So in this regard, Brom is very much making changes based on the meta. Also note 2 of the doctrines involve guardsmen, so that way he can sort of get his own tank rifles up there, but also get the DP light machine guns, which all means the guardsmen are pretty good in that sense. So far, though, Baumy has taken to a sort of reasonably conventional start. There's still Oberkommand West is pushing in the Sturm Pioneers aggressive town to the west side. Kuban's continuing in the eastern flank, moving up the centre here, but slowly laying down sandbags where it is necessary. 3rd conscript squad out there for Brom, and the 9th Mechanized Corps as they engage the Sturmpioniere of the 3rd Panzer Division, which would have been Panzerpioniere. Technically got the Sturmpanzer advancing up against the conscripts, and Engineers coming up here. The conscript Kuba in this case pushing around the conscripts. Rather dirty trick there by Lt.Baumy. We got more Engineers on the way there for Brom. Conscript there roaring away to gain into heavy cover, more conscript arriving, gaining in the Sturm Pioneers at a safe distance. Very good work there by him, and we can see that Lt.Baumy ultimately is forced to fall back. The Sturm Pioneers trying to avoid a needless loss of manpower there. I think that's a good tactical decision by Lt.Baumy. Up north though, here we got Brom's conscript pushing ahead there, avoiding basically Lt.Baumy's main force, and eventually going to threaten his fuel point, so that could have forced Lt.Baumy to have to withdraw forces from the centre of the map towards the northern corner, which would allow Brom to just further easily advance his front line. 2nd Unit Squad securing the point down there. Could maybe gone for a swift support from Company or something else, but so far no sign of that there for Brom. No sign of that. Forces fighting out here, opening up the conscripts, and there you go. Conscript going straight here for the fuel point. And we got a doctoral choice for Brom. It is mechanized support tactics, guardsmen, marked vehicle, ambush guns, bombing strikes, and the ISU-152 heavy assault gun. We'll have to see if that one ever hits. Falling back here towards the cut-off point for the time being as the conscript up north hit there, and we got sandbags standing up defended more easily against any fascist counter-attacks. We see there Baumy is immediately rushing in his Kugelwagen there. No anti-tank grenades yet, though we do have a supporting company up there for Brom. Could be a Maxim, could be a field gun. Mortars immediately planning. I'll wait, got the fuel there cut off, and the sandbags are done. And it's going to make it difficult there for Baumy to immediately sort of dig him off the point. Very good work there. More focus away there for Baumy, which would indicate maybe not a mechanized regiment play here, but the battle group headquarters play to reinforce and heal them all. Brom there anticipating a pound of infantry en masse is going there for the Maxim. And we got take up there for Baumy, a schwerer Wehrmachtschlepper. And there you go, engaging the forces versus conscripts, quickly pulling up behind an old wooden cart. Forces though closing in on the wounded conscripts. Engaging up brutally, and there you go, conscripts being pushed back. Up north, fighting around here. And quickly popping into the house, at least the Kuban can't do anything. That of course allows the Sturmpionier to get to an extent a bit closer in, but even then, they're not going to be able to just pop onto the point themselves. Few shots there, down here fighting for the fuel point there as Baumy's trying to do what Brom did to him. He got constant engineers moving to support the flamethrower engineers, small forces standing by nearby. He's going to probably move to contest the point. There you go, Maxim arrives here, and that's going to make it pretty much difficult here for Baumy to fight around the fuel point as the Maxim is going to prevent him from using his infantry. It does hit the cutoff point though. Very good work there by Baumy, settling for a minor victory there, at least temporarily. Truck standing about there for Baumy. Looks like he's going to about to set up to get soon. And the way he's setting up, there could be a mechanized regiment after all. Otherwise, yeah, he'd be setting up closer there to his own base. So that's a mechanized regiment there for Baumy. So he's not going to go for healing there for the Volks, just going on the medical kits. There we go, lost a squad. Bit of a loss there for Baumy and the 3rd Panzer Division here to the Marxists under Brom. Troops are healing and reinforcing. So Brom there got a nice early lead there with getting a wipe plus more consistently and overall with more long-term implications, hurting his opponent's fuel supply, whereas again just hitting the Kharkov point is something they can mostly taking back than just, you know, a few point taking off. So good work there by Brom, mines to the Kharkov point as well, even better. More sandbags here from Brom and the 9th Mechanized Corps. Going ahead there to repair, fix stuff up. Back here, nothing further going on. No sign of anti-tank grenades. We've got medics on the way there for Brom to heal up his battered and wounded Frontovics, who have endured much in the fight against the fascists. North there, Wagner spearheading the efforts there with the Sturmpaniers following up. Kharkov versus Volkswagen being caught out in the open. Should have a chance here for the Volkswagen to do damage. In particular, now they got Brandhandgranaten available. Sturmgewehrs on the way, but they might not quite make it in time. Got the Maxim pulling up there for Brom. Volks coming up there, and there you go, constant push back. The Volks gonna do is proved too much. In the centre, more fighting breaking out there. Double flamethrower used by here for Brom. He's clearly not worried about mines from Lt.Baumy right away, so he's just aiming for the flamethrowers to burn out the fascists and anything else related to them. Baumy there suffering lost push with the car point, and there he goes straight into a mine. Leaving on the Sturmpaniers low on health bar, way to fight against the conscripts. Even they get up close there, the conscripts should have a pretty good chance there behind heavy cover because the Sturmpaniers can't quite get to it. So that was a pretty good engagement there for Brom again. Almost might get another unit there. We've got looks on the way for Baumy. Brom has yet to go for the anti-tank grenades. Might be anticipating since it's a battle group headquarters, obviously, and thusly no need for anti-tank measures. Of course, it's going to get sorely surprised then. Baumy is soon to hit there with the Lux. Oh, we got Garsman out here, can also have DP light machine guns, and there you go. That should also help. There's the Lux, but that's obviously not going to snare it down, at least not very well. Brom does have the resource to take up, maybe catch out a light vehicle to counter Lt.Baumy's lighter Aufklärungspanzer, and there you go, got it rolling ahead there for the fatherland. Kubelwagen pressuring the eastern side, just rolling up Brom's territory there. Very good work by Lt.Baumy. Jump on reinforcing, healing, got the medical supplies down there. Sehr good. And Luke storms the position there with the Maxim in it. Forcing away, got an MD-31 weather for Lt.Baumy. Looks like he was briefly considered taking up, but might decide to just try and move ahead for medium armor as fast as possible, which would definitely be my personal recommendation in these situations here. Obviously, I went up with the Garten getting the Lux, PTRSs penetrating the thin armor of the Lux. Fun fact. Back doing Operation Barbarossa when the PTRS-41 was initially introduced, it turned out though that they didn't have the ammunition ready for it for several months, so while they had the rifles, they didn't have anything to shoot with the rifle with. Little fun fact there. Of course, they're getting blasted here, constantly pushing ahead. Almost got them wiped out. Got the forces flanking up behind the Garsman. Looks opening up from the front here with a damaged engine. Trying to cover the flank with the conscript, but they're just not enough out in the open. There's the folks with all their assault rifles. The Garsman, they can try and deal with them, but that looks to be a wipe there against Brom. And the 9th Mechanized Corps up here. Engineers pushing forwards. He's going to need the Maxim here to really stop Brom's infantry assault, or Lt.Baumy's assault. There you go, conscripts wiped out. Loss for Brom. He lost for the motherland. Now they're taking to the DP wielding Guardsmen though, that's less good there for the Volksgrenadiers. They're getting supported from the Lux and the arrival in MD-34 as well. He's going to have to retreat the Guardsmen soon enough. Oh, that's going to be a pretty big loss there for Brom. Got the Max moving in. No tag out for Brom despite having the resources. His efforts are being a bit more constrained here by Lt.Baumy by now. Still no anti-tank grenades either. Take up not forthcoming anytime soon. He could probably consider using some of his conscripts to merge with the Guardsmen as soon as they get back. So that way, just quickly get them back to frontline strength at a lower cost. That way, they're allowing him to, maintain frontline presence, and maybe that way at a cheaper cost, thus allowing him to push faster ahead for say some light armor. So that way, try and counter the Lux. That could be an idea there for Brom. But I doubt he's going to go for it. Now going to tank grenade off. So finally got the anti-tank grenade. Oh, it does actually take up, though it does delay the reinforcement of the guardsman a bit. Maxim blasting away here, reinforcing, almost done. Pressing a bit more up north. And we got Conscript versus Fultz Grenadiers up close quarters action. We got a mine there from Brom Bar previously laid down. Could have laid it closer to the sandbags themselves. Conscript there will have to fall back. Overall, a nice attempt here by Brom, but just well, maybe actually might work out there. Ah, there you go. They end up both retreating. In the south, though, Maxim in a rather desperate last stand as the looks, which obviously isn't going to work out very well because it's a Maxim versus a tank. Got mines up here, noting by the way he's not laying down regular mines, he's laying down tripwire flare mines. An interesting choice there by Brom, not a bad choice necessarily. Just so many people don't use it, they'll deliberately lay it down. They can really frustrate any advance by the opponent, plus of course give you an intelligent advantage. There you go, flare up, and poor Jurgen saw a bit of fireworks before it went through his brain. Right there, Baumy making a very good push there against Brom, catching Brom off guard. Garson now forced away again. But in the meanwhile, though, he is making efforts up the right hand side to that, just try and hit Baumy's resources there again, even as he's conceding the rest of the map there to Baumy and the 3rd Panzer Division there, liberally laying down Schuminen as well. Sehr good. Only thing Baumy's yet to do, though, is, well, go for Doctrine. He could also by now consider taking out sandbags. Engineers retreat as the sandbags crumble under the heavy fire of the autocannon there of the looks. Nego's going to get straight into the range of the anti-tank grenade. Decent hit there, but he's got nothing to really finish it off with. The guardsmen are first on the way now. 10% command could go for the T-70 here. Could also go for the S-6M to sort of try and hunt down the looks from further away. We'll have to see here what Brom ends up with. So far nothing going on there for Brom. He might even just be trying to move straight for the mechanized armor company, and T-34 is a bit more risky now considering the overall situation in terms of resources and map control. Germans dug in here, not refusing to move, which could actually give Brom more chance of actually getting back the fuel point here. So in a rare display, we actually see now the map being split alongside the road, rather than just sort of more along here, like I say, along the victory points, which seems to be how it usually goes on road to Kharkov anyways. Rarely is the roads like the big divider between the two sides. And there he goes, going for the H-6M assault gun. Maximum suppressed by the MD-34. The MD-34 obviously being the more advanced weapon there, air-cooled and whatnot, which of course made it a lot more lighter amongst other things and easier to get around compared to the water-cooled Maxim. Looks patrolling down the main road here. We can see that Brom is all forced to concede a lot of ground here to Baumy. But with the H-6M, he should have a chance to silence the looks and that way have a better chance of getting back into the way of things there. Forces close being wiped out. Gaspman trying here, but looks is just constantly pushing about them, making it hard for them to fire the PTRSs. H-6 still moving up there. If you get off a decent hit, they should have a chance. And there you go, good hit. Heavy damage there to Baumy's looks. He's yet to take out though. That's definitely something they could try and focus a bit on. The faster you can get up medium armor, just some orbs on, the better there for Baumy and the German army. He is getting a fat fuel advantage over there, Brom. It's going to be certainly quite a bit here to get back in for Brom. Grabbing the munitions, consequently they're advancing on the fuel point again. Truck moving out there for Baumy, the Schwerer Wehrmacht Schlepper. And the MD-34 again over coverage so the area around the central victory point. South is now open, though it has been sprinkled with mines. And Brom here following up with the T-70, a bit more risky. I mean, his opponent's now to challenge the game some medium armor, but I suppose he's betting on the S-6M helping versus that alongside the guardsman. I just wants to try and maybe catch Baumy off guard by setting up with a bit more rapid aggression. Quick grenade there against the Fulton side of the house. delivery from the Red Army that almost wipes the entire unit except poor Ludwig, who was a bit further away from the rest. There you go, hitting the Kharkov point. Continues moving up, but he does have mastery on that one. Got a wipe here on Baumy, actually. Very good work. He looks like wasn't paying attention. That is a full wipe there for Brom against Baumy. Very good. And we got the T-7 light tank around here as well. So he's quickly sort of trying to pressure Baumy now. Of course, Baumy is pretty close to the Panzer IV and Obersoldaten. And there you go, does go for a squad. You could consider spec ops maybe with infantry Sturmgewehrs for them. Of course, just stick to the light machine gun. Arcade methods suppressed. Grabbing points in the south, grabbing points in the north. Comes to their fighting against the Kubelwagen there. You got the T-7 moving up. The Luke's moving in. Oh dear. Shots on the rear there. Edgeman 6 moving up to support the engineers. At least get repaired by them. Arcade methods retreating. And there you go. Good hit from the 6. Almost got the Luke's. Almost got it. He's going to get it. Oh! Looks down. That's quite a loss there for Baumy. That's a huge map control tool. That is just gone. That gives Brom now much freer ability to just hit Baumy where he wants to across the map. That is a big loss there for Baumy. In particular, since opponent now has the T-70 out there and there's nothing to now sort of really hold it back. So this is a big win for Brom. A big win for the 9th Mechanized Corps here against the fascists. Baumy though is going for the Panzer IV, which should help things there. But until it hits though, it's going to be very much Bromland here. And there you go, almost got the forces wiped out with the T-70 and the Guardsman. Almost, but no. Last man exit. Jürgen always was a bit better at the rest than running. Back here, healing enforcement going for Brom. Got the assault gun there bombarding the MG-34 position. Securing the victory point there in the west, grabbing the point here. And we got more guardsmen out here for Brom and the 9th Mechanized Corps. Fixing up the T-70 there. All of a sudden having equipped with the LMG-34. And for those wondering what's the big difference between the MG-34 and the MG-42, the MG-34 overall had a slow rate of fire, was harder to produce, amongst other things. I think was also a bit harder to maintain, to be honest. Of course, in that sense, the low rate of fire also made it a bit easier for, inexperienced crews to handle. But the MG-42 was essentially in many ways the better machine gun. It was also essentially the one that would be handed out to elite divisions, whereas generally less elite divisions would be handed out MG-34s. Another fun fact, though, is despite being easy to produce, the MG-42 was actually made in less numbers than the MG-34, simply because the MG-34 had a big fat head start over the MG-42. But there goes on engagement with the T-70. On the other hand, we got the Panzer IV there, trying to save some. Looks like he's going to try and save the T-70 here, which might just allow the Obersoldaten to get away, while at the same time still getting the T-70 here. So I think Brom should just tried getting the Obersoldaten squad there. There's no way of surviving against the Panzer IV unless he got supremely lucky, and the Panzer IV missed every single shot. There goes from 6M opening up in the Panzer IV there. Guardsmen doing what they can, but they're being suppressed at the MG-34. Nice hit there on the Panzer IV by the F-6M, closing over to 2. In fact, it is there already. And the west side, we got Guardsmen doing the force at Brandhunt gun out off against them, flame from using the Sturm Pioneers there, almost wiping them out. Some pretty intense actions playing out here between the two. And there you go, the Sturm Pioneer squad got annihilated. Big loss there for Lieutenant Baumy and the 3rd Panzer Division. Forces pushing against their assault gun. We got assault gun fire there. Trying to wipe them. Almost got it. Engineers retreating. Guardsmen retreating. F-6M with a damaged engine. And we got the Panzer IV moving, but it's going to take hits there from the anti-tank grenades. There we go. Baumy might have gone a bit too greedy here. Versus Brom also lost another squad. Huge losses on both sides here between Brom and Baumy, but looks like here Brom's going to be able to pull ahead here. Then again, he's going to have to pursue a Panzer IV with a damaged engine, with an assault gun with a damaged engine. Can't we jump out and push this thing? Yet, if we get out of the vehicle, we'll be shipped to a penal unit. Like, unless it's on fire, in which case we're dead anyways, we can't leave, or we'll be shot dead, or worse. More pressure on the right flank, though, I think could be a good idea for Brom, though. Still as assault gun. Of course, the Brom frame is, so is the Panzer IV. No repair Pioneers there, so he's just going for regular Pioneers. Bombardment there against the MG-34. And an SU-6. Oh no, CIS-3 a gun on the way there for Brom. Further into tank there versus Lt.Baumy. Flanking the ND-34. They're forcing the crew to retreat. And we got the Orbs on there charging here there. Sturmfire from the ND-34. Which is what's called when you fire it from a standing position. Otherwise, they're also trained to use another member, well, one of their gunners, or support gunners there, is actually in a position to support the machine gun from and fire from. That's a fun fact. The countermeasure is too pleasant for the guard that is basically used as a stand for the machine gun. Guards had the cuts ribbons here, but the opposite down the ND-34, they're extremely accurately fired. Of course, it's quite lethal. Got the assault gun moving up, they're firing at the Volksgrenadiere. Very, very close there to Veteran D3 and can soon bombard again. Pressure up here, but the right flank is rather open. Brom here could be taken out. Of course, he might be planning to stay up for the ISU, in which case they should consider a fuel cache, I think, to really make that work. As for Baumy, more Panzer IVs wouldn't be a bad idea. There you go, assault gun barrage against the Volksgrenadiers. Getting there, poor Friedrich. Assault gun there very close to Veteran D3. It's going to be a problem there for Lt.Baumy's Panzer IV and most other medium armour. And there you go, full charge change. The guard from Veteran D3 bar weight, 22 kills there for the motherland. Proving that they are indeed worthy of the guard's title. Except of course when they're fighting against Volksgrenadiers in heavy cover. And they're both low on health, but the Volksgrenadiers got the assault rifles up close. And there you go, Panzer IV arrives to save the day here. Also, he actually has merged the concept with his guard squad. They're just, you know, make for cheaper reinforcing line to stay up for other things. Not a bad move there. And there you go again. A lot of conscripts now find themselves as guardsmen, but without the SNES uniforms. Panzer IV landing a good hit there on the conscripts. Of course, the funny thing is, this kind of mechanic could also work quite well for the Germans, because they were also just keen on using whatever they could as replacements. For example, during Normandy, the 352nd Infantry Division was in many cases quickly replenished using what was able at hand, which could include, well, Luftwaffe, security forces, Kriegsmarine, or Reichsarbeitsdienst people. So, you know, in that sense, you know, it could easily have been a German mechanic there as well, which would have been quite interesting, using Ostrom, for example, to merge with Grenadiers and the likes there. Panzer IV moving hit, they're going straight for the SN6M. Brom there caught off guard, and Baumy punishes him with the armoured fist of the fatherland. Guards when they're falling back. Bit beaten up there by Lt.Baumy's sudden assault. His orbs on retreating. You could easily benefit from going from watch. They are quite good there versus all the Russian infantry. Got the Maxim blasting away there. 7 kills. And I think overall Brom is aiming up for the ISU there, so it is a bit risky that he's not going to go for fuel cache, because there's a long bit of time there's just going to be sort of saving up also a chunk of manpower, so we just push ahead for it. Of course, once it hits and he makes quick use of it, it could be quite a headache for Baumy to deal with. Still, not much happening on the right flank. He's sort of more sticking out to the centre west. He's probably trying to conserve forces and resources, but at the same time, you know, it's also making it easy for Lt.Baumy to do the exact same thing. So he needs to sort of get a bit more conscious about certain elements, I think. In particular, now he's lost his assault gun. He's very much more vulnerable to the Panzer IV, which is also getting very close to the T2. Mines being laid down to Lt.Baumy. Very good. In fact, sort of a nice fields overall. There you go, Panzer IV down. Close to hitting a mine there. And a quick grenade in the Volksgrenadiers. Oh, almost got a wipe. And he did hit the mine there down to half a field gun opening up with the Panzer IV. Misses though. Shoot better, Petrov. Shoot straight. So there you go. CIS-3, they're being quickly pushed ahead to catch up with the Panzer IV. Sturmpanzer try and block off any pursuits. Got the Kubwagen there zipping in. And there you go, Guards with negative cover there. There's the Sturmpanzers and the Kubelwagen. Even if it's only 3, that's a pretty bad prospect with that little health left. Brom getting ever closer to the ISU 152, the Svero boy, or Beast Killer as it was known. Not designed as a tank destroyer, that was the ISU 122, which had the same gun as the IS-2 for some reason, yet was still designated as a tank destroyer. I'm not entirely sure how that one's supposed to work, but it was. This one was basically designed as a heavy assault gun, like basically a larger SN6M, meant, you know, blast apart fortifications and the likes. Though, of course, it turned out its high explosive rounds were really, really good at taking out Panzer IVs simply due to the sheer shock force or shock wave of them sort of when they fired there. They simply broke apart the tanks. So while it wasn't intentionally meant for it, it turned out to be pretty good at it. Got the Panther out here for Lt.Baumy, a command Panther to work together with his Panzer IV. Good move there overall, not aiming straight for it right away, but actually getting out some medium armor for the command Panther to then support later down the road. A much stronger combination of Lt.Baumy also, of course, means he loses less, I would say, tempo by an active gun for a medium tank first, can deal with the rations, and then, of course, then synergize with the command tank. I think that's a overall better approach to Lt.Baumy, and a lot more recommendable. Sandbags in the center. Of course, this Panzer IV is going to need some serious repairs. You could consider, there's some repair pioneers here to assist with repairs. That I think would be a pretty good job there for Baumy and the 3rd Panzer Division. Now you can see Brom taking advantage of Baumy being off the field entirely to just sweep ahead like a crimson Marxist tide. Although some of them just standing about there. Yes! Sandbag harder! How is sandbag a verb? It is now. Yeah, he's clearly setting up for it, and there you go. He's got the manpower, he just needs the fuel, and he's about a minute away from it. There you go, Panther strikes, pinback machine on the way there. Panther IV being repaired, so he can't quite join in the fun there yet. Of Hauptmann Maximilian Werner's armoured assault there. Got the Observer there following up with a lot of full grenadiers. Half-8 of Veteran 2. Kubelwagen under command of the command Panther. How does that work anyway, Jürgen? Like, der Kubelwagen, he's a command Panzer. What lessons can we gain from this guy? Big assault here, but of course heavy cover, lots of gas, a lot of DP light machine guns, and they just shred the full grenadiers, desperately cutting them to ribbons. Don't underestimate the DP light machine gun, the gas. I mean, some players seem to think they're not that good, but generally they're sort of with a bit of veterancy, pretty damn good. And there you go, max and wipe, but now it hits the field. The ISU 152. Can Brom though use it for victory, or will he just, find a huge scrap heap there against the Germans? Max recruit, but have a heavy cost as the command Panther and the Panther IV, plus the commanded Kubelwagen there. Do some nasty work there. Panther IV Veteran 2, they're getting attempting some hits. ISU rolling ahead, pinning up machine gun all the way to the Dishka. Field gun supporting, getting a decent hit on the Panther IV, which is closing in a half-8 Veteran 3. Will Baumy though be ready for the ISU 152? You rarely see it nowadays, but it's still pretty potent. He's about to lose the Panther there. He might have pushed his light a bit too far. There you go. ISU shoots, misses, doesn't kill anyone of his own though, which means it was a success. Lost the squad there. He's now in fact down to just Guardsmen here, and the Orbison right from the ISU are quickly forced into a retreating pattern there. Brom's going to need to replace all of his infantry losses. I mean, again, he's just down to Guardsmen. He can't even merge with them now. So that's been a bit costly there for Brom. Still, he has forced Lt.Baumy there to be a bit more careful now here with the arrival of the ISU 152, based on the IS-2 chassis, by the way. There also exists the SU 122 and the SU 152, which is sort of like the predecessors to the ISU 122 and 152. Fun side note there. Again, he had less powerful guns as well, besides being less impressive chassis. Kedmev out here for Baumy to support, and another truck on the way. That's going to get the battle group headquarters. No repair pioneer still. I think he could benefit from it at this point. ISU 152 hanging back. Switch out to high explosive rounds for extra fascist blasting. You just need to be careful there. Got the Observer on there back at full strength. Veteran 2. And setting out again here. Guardsman tanks range to the MG34. And there goes two shoots. Wipes out half the unit. And if he doesn't retreat in time, that's going to be a full wipe. Oh dear. Got lucky there. Now got the Panther moving in. The field gun bow in ambush there, so the tanks can't immediately see it in time. Sets up some nasty potential there for Brom. Flares down though. Gives away the entire thing though. And got the Panther tank from the north, going to try and flank behind the field gun there. We've got Guardsmen in the way. They could not merge. merge with the Panzer. That'd be, I think, pretty grotesque. Mein Gott, Otto, what is he doing? They're trying to merge with our Panzer. It's disgusting. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. Hier ist die Ding with the cool van the Sturmpionier. Constantly holding in the center victory point against Lekena from the west side. We got the Orbison pushing up against the ISU. Quickly switching between rounds again and again. Back to high explosive rounds. He's going for some more troops, which is good. Wipes the entire Orbison squad in a single devastating hit there, leaving Baumy now with just the Volkskandidaten and a single Sturmpioneer squad against Brom. Has now definitely got the advantage in the infantry, at least in terms of quality, with all of the guards and veteranry free, and with DP light machine guns. That could be a big problem there for Lieutenant Baumy down the road, in particular with the ISU. They're also having the potential of wiping his staff. But Brom's going to need more elements to support the IS-2 or the ISU versus all the Panzers that Baumy's still got on the field, because if they should attack them properly and flank it, they could easily destroy it. So he's going to have to keep it proper supported there, preferably with some armour to help keep its flanks clear. More flares out here for Baumy. Israel, I think, trying to ascertain what his opponent is up to, though it's hard to say where it's flaring. Right, there we go. ISU shoots, misses, back to armor-piercing rounds. He's clearly anticipating an armored assault soon. I mean, he's seeing so much there from Baumy. He's also setting up for something, so Brom in this case is assuming the tank's going to hit soon, so in this case he wants to be ready. Oh, actually he was switching back to high explosives. Never mind me. MG34 versus Maxim machine gun. ISU shoots, blows apart a nice stat of hay, but no fascists. Baumy wants more back onto the field. I mean, he's also a bit short on infantry, so he's also struggling there to maintain map control. Though it does help that Brom is not pushing too much for the eastern side of the map there. Who is pushing ahead the ISU 152 a bit again. Now this is 3 there for Brom. Guards then engaged for the Panther full closing edge to 3. Fielding gets off a good hit. Tank shows us the rations line on the SU-5 and later the SU-100, which they only really hit around, I think, February 1945, if not later, which is based on SU-5 with a 100mm gun with high velocity. Lekena from the retreating line. Grenade there and almost gets it, but not quite. Got the Panther blitzing in the straight from the field gun, gets off a good hit there. A lot of flares there popped by the Panther. Panther 4 waiting for something to happen here for Lieutenant Baumy. I'm not entirely sure what he's anticipating or wants to happen. Brom also been on a holding pattern there. Push against these one. There you go. Maybe an anti-tank against the Panther, but no. Nothing like that here for good old Brom. Panther moving down the west side. So he's actually scouting his Panthers quite aggressively. I mean, if you can catch the ISU at 50 off guard, great, but it's going to be a bit harder with only just one tank. There you go. Direct hit from the ISU. Despite using high close rounds, he still managed to do a lot of damage. They probably didn't took a direct hit, but just hit near it. In which case, the AoE damage, by the way, did the damage there to the tank, and they can take AoE damage. As a fun note. There you go, almost wiped out the entire Volkskandidaten squad. Friedrich, Dietrich, and Jürgen Rech got blown to bits. Back here, tag up for Brom finally happening. Gonna probably follow up with some T-34s and H-5 to support his ISU. A very sensible idea when your opponent has several tanks, though. Again, thankfully for Brom, Lieutenant Baumy is not quite, exerting them in sort of a more coordinated manner. Lekena trying to go for the ISU. When Baumy up close, almost takes out Lekena for Panther. Trying to go in. Oh, it looks like he realizes that's a bad plan. There you go. Both Lekena was wiped here by Brom. Huge loss for Lieutenant Baumy. Huge loss. I'm not entirely sure what tried to engage his head on. We've got to move him about camouflage. We're trying to up to a flank there. Capture the ISU off guard. Force a turn to deal with him. And then send the Panther in. That was a bit tactically unwise by Baumy. Now the Panther's being pursued here by a lot of guardsmen. Folks are trying to take the centre victory point while under watch from the ISU. Unsurprisingly, not the best idea either. Particularly not with a flare off. So Baumy here seems to be struggling a bit with the current state of affairs on the battlefield here, where Brom is in control of the ISU and the Guardsmen. Baumy there clearly needs to change up his tactics and strategy here versus Brom. He wants, I think, make any sort of gains versus him. Now that Panther could be an idea there to help, flank and then destroy the ISU. 2 Panthers and a Panther 4 would be pretty much a winning combination, I think. Though, of course, more infantry down the road would also be extremely helpful for Baumy. In particular, since the ISU, of course, increased the chance of just things getting wiped like that. Well, there's a gush. We got the Panther moving in. ISU on the roll, and there you go. Panther 4 moving in. Catching a Kednev for here, and should probably be able to wipe it. Gains Veteran 3 doesn't actually wipe it, at least not by now. We got this is 3 and like everyone need to pull back that Panther 4 now because it'd be a huge waste there. Could be in a critical waste there for Lieutenant Baumy to lose that. I mean, it's Veteran 3, high rate of fire, high mobility, high accuracy. All good things there for Baumy. In particular, now I can also get to Veteran 4 and Veteran 5. If you get to Veteran 5, the Panther 4 becomes extremely good. So if we can get there, that will definitely help, I think, Baumy out a ton versus Brom. Brom, though, of course, now has a lot of anti-tank weapons. So again, Baumy has a very hard challenge ahead of him. He has finally gone for the repair pioneers. MG34 mines, he pretty much halts the guards advance there. Panther hanging back a bit. They're close to Veterancy 1 with 16 kills to his name. ISU with 23 kills to his name and Veterancy 1. Nasty hit there on the field gun crew. There we go. Panzer all ready. Baumy's got plenty of fuel though, so I mean, you could consider a Panzer 4 now or a Panther. Again, Panther would probably be the best choice. And of course, he needs to be careful not to just charge straight into his opponent's anti-tank defenses. More infantry would also be really helpful here. But there you go, he keeps building up his tanks and they're not really keeping them sort of working together. But we've got a flank here going on from the south, going to try and catch off the anti-tank weapons from that angle. Very good work there by Baumy. That's overall, not a bad assault at all. They're making good use of the terrain here. The fact most people will not be paying attention to what's going on and try and get behind. But in this case, though, takes a direct hit, almost point blank from the ISU and the disc, and there you go, lost the full committee squad. You might even lose the second one, which is going to be absolutely horrific there. Going forward, so to replace some of the losses, good work, but he really should have had a Panther there supporting instead of operating on the far right flank. I mean, I can see he tries to want to do some harassment damage there, catch his opponent a bit off guard, but the problem is, unless goes from Katyusha to something else, it's not going to do him a ton of good, in particular since there's also conscripts above which could pop an anti-tank grenade on the Panther. In this case, he's getting caught up by a lot of anti-tank weapons, so this is a really bad maneuver by Baumy, which is just being made worse. And even loses the Panther. He's just down now to his Steel Pioneer squad, MG34. Light infantry gunner now went for the opposite and his Veteran 3 Panther 4 versus an opponent with an ISU, several guardsmen, conscripts, lots of anti-tank weapons and engineers. Oh dear, that was not good at all for Lieutenant Baumy. Again, had the command Panther been supporting him and flanked the ISU, he probably could have pulled off something, but instead, things didn't work out like that at all. This is going to be a very, very hard ride then for Lieutenant Baumy if he wants to win. If he can. Here with the 3rd Panzer Division. Got Panzer 4 halfway to Veteran 4. Steel Pioneer supporting. Opposite squad out there. Could go for assault rifles, go for light machine guns. You'll likely go for the light machine gun now. In particular, all the veteran guardsmen out there, the light machine gun will definitely have a bit more impact since the assault rifles will require them to get close to them in the first place to be effective, and that's not necessarily going to be the best bet there to make. Bring up the ISU to support the guardsmen east of this machine gun. T-Fit on the weather for Brom. And the 9th Mechanized Corps. That's going to be an unpleasant surprise to the machine gun crew. I think at this point Baumy is either aiming for another Command Panther, but Probably not. He could also be setting up for the King Tiger here. I mean, he's got the fuel for it. He's almost got the manpower anyways. And certainly a King Tiger could have a bit of an impact, though he still needs to, you know, play it a bit better than he'd ended up doing with that Command Panther, because that ended up being a bit of a waste long term. And ultimately, he didn't really use it as a Command Panther. I mean, he didn't use its abilities, didn't use its aura much. He might as well just gone for a regular Panther instead. You know, then, well, a Command Panther. It just feels a bit wasteful there by Baumy, to be honest. T-54 out there, though. Getting very close to the King Tiger, the Königstiger. Lining gun there, slaughters 2 guardsmen. And there you go. Tiger 2 out here for Baumy. Obviously, a tank across the road here, though it is mined right in front of the nose. Of course, they do not know of this. Oh, close quarters barrage there. Almost takes out the Obsolete, and they get wiped. Another big loss for Baumy. Another big loss. Very nasty barrage there from Brom at point blank range, which is, by the way, really effective range to do it at. And of course, it does require a bit of nerves of steel to pull it off. But Brom did it. That's all landing some good hits there. Very, very, very close. Before we got the King Tiger moving ahead, they're going to catch some Russians here going for his fuel point. There you go. Kenneth immediately retreats as soon as it sees the King Tiger. King Tiger that keeps missing. Mine goes off there. T-54 moves in. Wipes the Kedmir for entirely. Destroys, in fact. Panther 4 creeping ahead there. That's all attention sent in the King Tiger. The Panther 4's going to try and put some pressure on the left flank. Needs to be careful, doesn't end up losing it like he did the Panther here. Taking a lot of fire from the Guardsman. Baumy's going to need more infantry, though. I mean, he's still incredibly short there versus Brom. Incredibly short. Bit of quiet here between the two sides. King Tiger moving ahead again here with 5 kills to his name so far. Oh, the machine gun spotted. Takes a massive hit without really suffering any damage. To the house obviously might disagree with that if the house was an actual being and not, you know, an assembly of wood, or in this case an assembly of pixels made to resemble wood. There we go. Veteran 4 on the Panther 4. Increased range, increased accuracy. That makes the Panther 4 really lethal. Of course, Veteran 5 becomes even better with more accuracy on the move, and of course more sights and activate better use offset range. More orbs on there for Lieutenant Baumy. Mine hit there for the Panther 4. Oh dear. Looks like Brom doesn't realise who moves in on it. Bit of luck there for Baumy and the 3rd Panzer Division. Maybe I spoke too soon. Then we got the T-54 moving in, but without any further support, though it's not going to quite work. So when they fact got the King Tiger support on the Panther 4, this time keeping them much better, closer together. Guards moving up. Need to retreat the Steel Pines. There you go. He's going to try to ram, but all there suffers losses. Guardsmen getting slaughtered there by the King Tiger. The Panther 4 trying its best, but not quite landing the hits. And got the ISU engaging the King Tiger. We got Mark Veal on as well. In fact, almost knocking out the King Tiger there. He's down to less than a quarter of health. Got the Obsolete pushing ahead. They need to be careful they don't get wiped by the ISU, which is right in front of them. There you go. Need to pull back the Panther 4 further. Mach schnell, Baumy. Mach schnell. He's really risky here with the Obsolete. I mean, he's already lost troops, you know, being way too close to the Russian things. ISU pursues SU-5 as well. They need to pull back the light infantry guns. Baumy's still not with a lot left. ISU continues its pursuit here after Baumy's elements. Panther 4 just barely makes it around the corner, avoiding the wrath of the ISU. Instead, it's going to be the Schwer Panzer Corps will now suffer the weight here of the Russian armour. Pushing at the King Tiger to try and defend it. Oh dear. Clearly doesn't want to lose, so then the potential for more armour here. But also he's an opportunity, I guess, to sort of flank the ISU here. There we go, flanks it. Veteran 2 SU-5 got to deal with the King Tiger. Shoots, penetrates, Panther 4. Close to being good here. There he goes, pulling back the HQ5. Or the ISU. And the HQ5 is pursuing the King Tiger instead. By using the King Tiger part as bait there, it's actually protecting the Spare Punch course. This is a high risk move here. Oh, we got the Panzer IV moving in. The Vetchi 4 almost Vetchi 5. They should be able to get it with it. And shot bounces. Shot bounces. Still, he's blitzing. There you go. Gets the HQ5. Shoots at the ISU. We got a few points. Need to pull back the Panzer IV. We've got Garsman here. Would be a shame to lose the Panzer IV now. Got a penetrating on the ISU, but almost got taken out in return. The Schwer Panzer Corps is barely standing. The sandbags are on the fire somehow. Still not a lot of infantry for Baumy. He's aiming for a Panther here, maybe. Jagdpanzer. More Obersoldaten. He still needs more infantry overall. Laying down mines for the Garsman. Very good work there. Got the Orbs on there pursuing the conscripts. They've still got the ISU there. Switch go to high plus rounds. Panzer IV could do some repairs as well. And there you go. High plus rounds ready. Also Vetchi 2 by the way. Shoots and misses the Obersoldaten. Bit lucky there for Baumy. Very lucky there. Needs to be careful not to push his luck too much further here against the ISU though. Baumy. Ah! Down to just 2 men. Baumy, don't do it. Scheiße! Ah! Baumy, you really don't learn, do you? You really don't learn. You really just have to see how far you can push it every single time you lose entire squads of Obersoldaten to it. He's going for a Panther there now. Good, but he's still incredibly short in infantry, and that's going to make it difficult for him to get back the victory point for that match to support the tanks properly. So he needs more infantry though. Again, he desperately needs more infantry. He's almost got the Panzer IV ready. King Tiger setting out. Got the HQ5 ready to support the ISU once more. Panther halfway down there for Baumy, and the 3rd Panzer Division. Flares being set off there by the King Tiger. Shoots, misses the Guardsman. Spectacularly. Can't survive when they picked up. Light missing there. Go Gains Vetchi 5. The Gains Vetchi 5. 37 kills there for the Fatherland. Gets another kill. Guardsman moving up against the Vetchi 5. Panther 4. Misses though. Panther ready here. There you go. Guardsman needs to suffer loss from the Panther 4. 39 kills to its name. There you go. Panzerkampfwagen 5 and Panzerkampfwagen 4. Along with a Panzerkampfwagen 6. More orbs on there for Baumy. Hopefully these will survive a bit longer by not being wasted in front of a ISU. Panther moving up the eastern side. They're setting off more mines, I imagine. Catching the HQ5 there. Panther moving it slightly spotting there. Going to use push back. Petrov shot dead. And here Indiford for defend the western victory point, which is the only victory point Lieutenant Baumy is currently controlling against Brom.
Panzer IV ready.
40 kills on that Panzer IV though. Moving straight down the road despite knowing there's a field gun and an HQ5 there. That's definitely not the best move I think there by Lieutenant Baumy. And considering he has shown the ability to flank before, in fact that's what he did a lot there with the Command Panther, not very efficiently. I'm surprised he just decided to all of a sudden barrel down the road there. King Tiger just waiting about. It looks like he's waiting for a time to strike with it. Got the LMG constantly advancing. And the Panzer IV desperately awaits repairs. Constantly going to get close to the King Tiger. Going to try and flank the machine gun, though they're going to be winning the art of fight anyways, because it is well positioned there, so it's not easily flanked. Panzer IV being fixed up. Finally got the Orbison setting up. Panther ready to support. I mean, a good flank through here, and then sort of getting behind up this way. In fact, do a lot of damage, I think, with sort of proper support of the Panzer IV, the Orbison, and the Panther. And then once it's trying to turn to deal with it, he then attacks with the King Tiger from the front instead of sending it from the front without any sort of real sufficient support, I think. Looks like he backs off there. Good. T-34 moving out there for Brom, and there he goes straight to the MD-34 veteran 4 by the way. I shoot in the gas from there, but that also leaves the machine gun open to the T-34 since there's no other anti-tank support for it. The Guardsmen all been sent running, so we can move down the King Tiger support. He does so ever slowly. We've got the Panthers, the other ones, moving up in the eastern side with Orbison support, pressuring Brom there. Very good work. King Tiger moving up there, but just taking hits from the. Oh, no, and then penetrate the frontal armor of the King Tiger here. The Guardsmen actually do. Almost got the T-34 there. Pressure on the eastern side, breaks off there. Baumy does not pursue further. Does get the T-34 for some reason. There, Brom tries to take it out. They does get the ending damage. It looks like he rammed it. Allowing the ISU and the Guardsmen to catch up with it, he decides not to, so he basically just wastes the T-34 there. Constantly up against the Panther here, the Orbison Garden. Sure, and the Orbison are more than happy to show them how to properly use the LMG-34. Got the East 5 flying down, they could go with after it with the Panther 4 and the Panther. Got persisting being flanked in the centre, there's more Orbison on the right for Baumy to push on it. Panther getting off a hit, then the HUD-5, got infantry moving up there, Orbison covering up. So much going on here. Panzer IV can't quite seem to land a hit on the machine gun, despite being less 25. Just can't seem to do it. In fact, now taking fire from the HUD-5. Oh, there we go, actually got a decent hit, but is now taking a lot more better hits. King Tiger being slowly pulled back for repairs, pushing back the Guardsmen off the centre victory point. Got the ice zooming back in as well. And we got the option of just pushing their luck once more here. Oh, wipe the guard squad there. Big loss for Brom. Big loss for Brom. Need to get that Panther out of there, Baumy. He's not paying attention. He is not paying attention. And mine spotted there, but ignored, and he loses the Panther. Oh, it only gets abandoned. Bit lucky there for Baumy, but still could have been handled a bit better there. And he loses another Orbison squad and drops another light machine gun. Ah, Baumy, unit preservation, it does need work. Holy smokes, though. Conscripts with double LMG 34s from Obersoldaten. Holy snot biscuits. You do not see that very often. That's the stuff of nightmares for Germans. Just an infantry squad wielding double Obersoldaten LMG 34s. Got spotting down the way for the HUD-5, or tracking specifically. King Tiger flanking, there you go. Good move there, but Baumy catches Brom there, HUD-5 with the pants down around its ankles and knocks it out. Aiming just for the ISU 132, which is right there, then ready to take on the King Tiger frontally. Got the Panther 4 slight move up support there. Doesn't have any other armour by the way to support this King Tiger with. And not much infantry down there. Go wipes machine gun. King Tiger down to half health. Conscripts got to advance. The Conscripts actually getting blasted to bits out in the open there. Now the Orbison squad out here with this one actually survive here down to 2 men. And there you go, retreats. Guardsman wiped this. He steps down to the Conscripts here now. Brom versus Baumy. Baumy's actually coming back from that series of horrendous losses around the mid-game there. Very horrendous losses. 48 kills in the Panther 4. 48 kills.
Our territory is falling into enemy hands.
Forces caught out in the opening by the ISU. They retreat immediately for once. ISU by the way, halfway to veteran 3. And there you go, Panther flanking in. The catches the field gun some other bits, so quickly decides to move elsewhere. King Tiger's going to need some surface repairs. We've got the repair pioneers and the regular pioneers moving to work on it. And working with engineers. And 51 kills. 52. Halfway to 100 kills on that Panzer IV. Halfway to 100. Pulls away the Panzer IV in the nick of time. And all of a sudden, moving straight in front of the ISU. Of course, he doesn't know it's there, though he soon will. Oh, he needs to retreat. Ah! Lt.Baumy! You just keep losing them like they do not cost 400 manpower. That's not good. At this rate, Lt.Baumy's going to get court-martialed for just throwing away orbs down in the most embarrassing of manners. Got the Panzer moving down here in a deep flank again. Can he though do anything with it? Clear up the field gun there and decides to pursue down the base, ignoring the anti-tank and threatening his flank. And quit punishing for extending. Oh, there he goes, going to go behind it now. Good, that's better, that's much better there. Destroying the field gun. Got the King Tiger blitzing after the ISU, by the way. He's trying a bit to maintain, I think, full management over both tanks here. There goes Jumper Spawn, the Panzer Bomb's got it there. King Tiger pursuing here the ISU. Betty 2 on the King Tiger by increasing turret rotation and accuracy. There you go, penetrating it on the ISU gun issued from there for Brom. Brom losing most of the map now, actually. He has the Panzer on the ISU go in aggressively. 60 kills by that Panzer IV, 60 kills. Ooh, shot missed or bounced here off the ISU. Comes out and misses the Panzer IV, going to tank grenade off. But they're taking heavy fire there from the Sturm Pioneers as well. Support them company here. The centre of attention for a lot of German firepower. Almost got it there. And we've got here the Su-5 out for Brom. Great hit in the King Tiger. We got a blitzkrieg forwards. Gotta try and catch that ISU for once. Finish it off. That's for good support here. Main gun destroyed, leaving the Su-5 on its own. Now got a King Tiger flank lead, got a marked vehicle on it to increase damage. I promise the Panzer's moving behind. Firing into the rear, the King Tiger from the front. The Su-5 is going to go down, and there you go. Brom surrenders. Loss here for the 9th Mechanized Corps. Victory for the German Panzerwaffe and the 3rd Panzer Division here. A brutal fight with a lot of back and forth between Brom and Lt.Baumy. Both players at times close to winning, but in the end, Lt.Baumy did win though. Brom, I think, at times did it a bit too much. Played perhaps, I think, too defensive, didn't pressure Lt.Baumy's resources sufficiently enough, and that rather gave Lt.Baumy several times actually the chance to get back onto the field. I mean, in that regard, Lt.Baumy, while struggling a bit there with the unit preservation, was all just more naturally aggressive, overall more attempting to flank. Actually, didn't just grind down his opponent. He actually looked to flank at times, trying to outmaneuver. The problem was at times again, unit preservation was weak, and sort of at times unit coordination was also weaker there for Lt.Baumy, which at several times gave Brom the chance to almost pull through and win the game. But again, Brom was just more naturally defensive, and thusly did not seek to more consistently deny Lt.Baumy resources, allowing Lt.Baumy then to get back onto the field. So there's some room there for improvement for Brom and obviously for Lt.Baumy. But overall, I think a rather exciting match with a lot of armour fighting going on. The ISUs, King Tigers, Panzer Force, Panthers, Su-5, T-34s, a rather wide zoo here at Kharkov. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, tell your friends, share it with everyone. If not, send in a replay and provide some feedback in the comment section. Links where you can send them in the video description. You can also find links where you can donate or support on Patreon. Either, of course, is most appreciated if you like what I do, by the way. And, of course, a big thanks to all my Patreon supporters who already do support me and certainly would not have been able to make this episode without them. So, big thanks to all of you. This is Imperial Dancing. Cheers. Thank you all for watching. Hope to see you all tomorrow for another signing episode. Bye.